I've been in the city too long. Heart cold, spirit calm, feeling far from home. But I know you can lead me back. Walk away, guilt in my lungs, praying you ain't done with me. Nightmares in my sleep, feeling like the enemy want with me. Temptation on speed, dial, pain on replay. Trying to walk straight in a world that don't even move one freeway. Lost brothers, lost peace, almost lost my name. Then I read that book again and it hit me the same. You didn't call me slave, didn't let me pain. You called me Israel and you never changed. I don't wanna fall through every trap and lie. Now I'm calling out, most high, I'm tired. Lead me to Zion, where the silence ain't loud with regret, where the streets don't bleed and the sky don't forget, where the curses break and the names reset. Lead me to Zion, where my soul can breathe in peace, where the prophets walk and the chains release. I don't wanna die in this Babylon dream, so lead me to Zion. Got tattoos of trauma, memories on loop, fake friends in the crowd, but nothing in the truth. I done masked my pain and designer and sin, but no chain can flex when the war's within. Try church, try drink, try running it all, but the scriptures hit different when he calling you home. I ain't perfect, but I'm listening now. If Zion's the end, then Lord show me how. I don't want to fall through every trap and lie. Now I'm calling out. Zion, where the silence ain't loud with regret, where the streets don't bleed and the sky don't forget, where the curses break and the names reset. Lead me to Zion, where my soul can breathe in peace, where the prophets walk and the chains release. I don't wanna die in this Babylon dream, so lead me to Zion.
You said we're not forgotten. You said we remember in the land of our captivity. You said, if we turn and obey, you'd gather us.
To Zion.
True first. I used to lie to keep the peace. Now I tell the truth even if it means you leave. Yeah, truth first, but not at all. Sanskrit. I used to mask pain with perfume and parties. Now I'm praying in my car, tears on the car seat. She said you changed, I said I had to. You want fairy tales, I want what's factual. Truth hit different when you got history, especially when the script starts speaking to me. I'm a king, not a simp, a priest, not a pimp. I need a Proverbs 31, not to pick me with a limp. Truth first, even if it hurts, yeah. Even if it costs my purse, yeah. I ain't tryna play no church now, I'm tryna walk in the word first. Truth first. You can't ride with that damn peace. I ain't dying for the lie just to feel it leak. Give me truth, even raw, even rough, cause that's love and that's enough. Cause that's love and that's enough. I was that dude with the charm and the lies. Couldn't love right, so I just improvised. Wrote songs for girls I ain't even respect. Tryna get right, but never connect. Now I see clearly no smoke in my lungs. You gave me wisdom, I ain't dumb it down for fun. They said keep it light, not glow from the flame. I rap the kingdom, not just a last name. Yeah, I like Bentleys, I like beats, but I need fruit, not just to cheeks. I want legacy, not a lease. I want peace, not just a piece. Ooh, truth first, even if it hurts, yeah. Even if it costs my perks, yeah. I ain't tryna play no church, nah, I'm tryna walk. Cause that's love and that's enough. No sugar in my speech, no filter on my reach, no lie in my lips, I was bought with a gift. He gave me truth like breath, not breathing real. No kiss. I still ride for the truth.
You ain't done with me. Nightmares in my sleep, feeling like the enemy want with me. Temptation on speed, dial, pain on replay. Trying to walk straight in a world that don't even move one freeway. Lost brothers, lost peace, almost lost my name. Then I read that book again and it hit me the same. You didn't call me slave, didn't let me pain. You called me Israel and you never changed. I don't wanna fall through every trap and lie. Now I'm calling out, most high, I'm tired. Lead me to Zion, where the silence ain't loud with regret, where the streets don't bleed and the sky don't forget, where the curses break and the names reset. Lead me to Zion, where my soul can breathe in peace, where the prophets walk and the chains release. I don't wanna die in this battle in the truth. I done masked my pain and designer and sin, but no chain can flex when the war's within. Try church, try drink, try running it all, but the scriptures hit different when he calling you home. I ain't perfect, trapping life. Now I'm calling out, most high, I'm tired. Oh, yeah. Lead me to Zion, where the silence ain't loud with regret, where the streets don't bleed and the sky don't forget, where the curses break and the names.
Shout out to the family. Much love, honor, and respect. I appreciate you all bearing with me. Just going through a couple of scenes. I want to make sure that I put the preview out first for today's class. It'll only be, like I said, it'll only be a preview, just about 20, 30 minutes of today's class. You can join us at Nazareth is the Hood podcast on Patreon. That's Nazareth is the Hood podcast on Patreon. These classes are too hot for social media in any way. We will begin the class and just give you a preview so you'll have an idea of the information that will be coming out. Today's class is titled The Purpose of the Black Christian Pastor. The purpose of our modern day celebrities, the purpose of so-called black men and women who are, according to the scriptures, the descendants of the ancient Israelites. And our celebrities are those unlearned Israelites who have no idea of their descendancy, who have no idea of the covenant promises that were made to our forefathers. They have no idea of why we are targeted. You know, if it was just about our brown skin, then surely all of this destruction that's been targeted towards our people ever since we touched down in this kingdom, and ever since we were reprimanded to their rulership. The scriptures are very, very clear for the learned of our people, and very, very difficult to understand for those that reject the spirit of the truth. So we're going to start in the scriptures today. Going to get started with the book of Deuteronomy. And we want to play close reference to a very significant portion of the book of Deuteronomy. And for context purposes, as I said before, we're going to be explaining the purpose of the Black Christian pastor. Please understand that your slave masters were powerless without the image of the beast, without white Jesus, without the assistance of the Black Christian pastor, the first down low brother. Okay. What you have to understand is that being in chains is one thing. You know, when you're in chains and when you are obviously held captive and made chattel, when you're placed in bondage, you know who your enemy is. It's very clear. Okay. And so when you know who your enemy is, then your communication with your people in any form or fashion is based upon knowing who the enemy is. So you have to understand that that was the purpose of the Christian pastor, attacking us first through religion, right? Giving us an image, according to the scriptures, the image of the beast. So there is no Black Christian on the face of the earth that is a Christian because their God looks like them. What you have to understand is that the only place within the Black community that has not been a direct target for the destruction of our people, but has been allowed to flourish in the Black community, the only business that has been allowed to thrive in the Black community that seems to be Black owned is the Black Christian church, period. Okay. So we're going to explain, we're going to show why and what the purpose of setting up that institution in the Black community truly is. I want to get started. Let me put it in context. This is the book of Deuteronomy. We'll read the first few verses so that we can keep it within context. Is Dub on? Okay, yeah, Dub's not on. Okay. All right. Let's see, Deuteronomy chapter 29 and verse 1. These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel in the land of Moab, beside the covenant which he made with them in Horeb. Okay. First of all, your modern day, this landmass called Moab is your Asia, is your continent of Asia. And as we would call it, East Africa. That borders East Africa is the land of Moab. Those were the sons and daughters of Lot and his daughters. Okay. Remember, after Sodom and Gomorrah, Abraham and his brother Lot divided, they separated. Lot went his way, Abraham went his way, and his daughters, not having any faith in the Most High, felt as though their seed line would stop. And so they got their father drunk and they lay with their father Lot and had Moab and Ammon. Okay. This is Moses reminding the children of Israel why the Most High kept them in the wilderness for 40 years, to prove them, to see if they would keep his commandments or no. I want to start back at and read the second verse again. And Moses called unto all of Israel and said unto them, ye have seen all that the Lord did before your eyes in the land of Egypt unto Pharaoh and unto all of his servants and unto all his land. The great temptation which thine eyes have seen, the signs and those great miracles, yet the Lord have not given you a heart to perceive, heart meaning your mind, perceive meaning to understand what's going on. He hasn't given you that yet. Eyes to see, your eyes don't see, you have no understanding. Your ears don't hear, meaning you have no understanding of what's going on. That's why you were murmuring and complaining in the wilderness. That's why it took you 40 years to make a trip from Egypt to the promised land that was formerly known as Canaan. That's why it took you 40 years for a 3-week walk. Because you were rebellious. You rejected the spirit of the truth. You did not honor the Most High power. You had seen 7 plagues that he put on the Egyptians. But just like many of you today, none of that is real. You know, all of these things that you have made up in your head, you know everything. You're just full of opinion and feelings and emotions. That's the purpose of the black Christian pastor. 5th verse. I have led you 40 years in the wilderness. Your clothes are not waxen old upon you, and thy shoe is not waxen old upon thy foot. Ye have not eaten bread, neither have ye drunk wine or strong drink, that ye might know that I am the Lord your God. And when you came unto this place, Sihon, the king of Heshbon, and Og, the king of Bashan, came out against us unto battle, and we smote them, and we took their land, and gave it for an inheritance unto the Reubenites. That's one of the tribes of Israel, tribe of Reuben. That's the oldest son of Jacob. Jacob had 12 sons. Reuben was his firstborn. And to the Gadites, that's your Native American Indians. Okay, many of you Israelites descend from the tribe of Gad. Okay, not the tribe of Judah necessarily. Okay, and the half tribe of Manasseh. Keep therefore the words of this covenant and do them, that ye may prosper in all that ye do. Ye stand this day, all of you, before the Lord your God, your captains of your tribes and your elders and your officers, with all the men of Israel, ye little ones, your wives, and thy strangers that is in thy camp, from the hewers of thy wood unto the drawer of thy water, that thou shouldest enter into covenant with the Lord thy God, and into his oath, which the Lord thy God maketh with thee this day. We are explaining the purpose of the black Christian pastor. The purpose of the pastor is to never put this information in context for the descendants of the Israelites. Never to remind them that our forefathers went into covenant with the Most High power. And in covenant is blood in and blood out. Just so that you understand. 13th verse. That he may establish thee today for a people unto himself, that he may be unto thee a God, as he hath said unto thee, and as he hath sworn unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. Neither with you only do I make this covenant and this oath, but with him that standeth here with us this day before the Lord our God, and also with him that is not here with us this day. That's you. Okay. Even though you rebel and you Egyptian and Ethiopian and Muslim and Christian and all and Greek and all of this madness. This is talking about you and how rebellious and disrespectful you are to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. The purpose of the black Christian pastor. Because your slave masters and their descendants would have been powerless without white Jesus and the black Christian pastor. Showing you where their power is. Okay. 16th verse. For ye know how we dwelt in the land of Egypt, and how we came through the nations which ye passed by. And ye have seen their abominations and their idols, wood and stone, Islam and Christianity, silver and gold, which were among them. Lest there shall be among you man or woman or family or tribe, whose heart turneth away this day from the Lord our God, to go and to serve the gods of these nations. Lest there shall be among you a root that beareth gall and wormwood. And it came to pass, when he heareth the words of this curse, that he blessed himself in his heart, saying, I shall have peace, though I walk in the imagination of my own heart, meaning I am already saved. That is the spirit of the black Christian pastor. That is what he gives you, a level of comfort. I often call Christianity and Christian doctrine hospice. Why do we call it hospice? Because it keeps you comfortable as you're leaving here. You think it's a game. You think the Most High is playing with you, but you're about to find out. To add drunkenness to thirst, the Lord will not spare him. But then the anger of the Lord and his jealousy shall smoke against that man, and all the curses that are written in this book shall lie upon him. And the Lord shall blot out his name from under heaven. And the Lord shall separate him unto evil out of all the tribes of Israel, according to all the curses of the covenants that are written in this book of the law. So that the generation to come of your children that shall rise up after you, and the strangers that shall come from a far land, shall say, when they see the plagues of that land and the sickness which the Lord have laid upon it, and that the whole land thereof is brimstone and salt and burning, that it is not sown, nor beareth, nor any grass groweth therein. Maybe you understand the remnants of Sodom and Gomorrah. Maybe you understand that it's not a blade of grass in that area. Okay? The sons of Ham, which you are not. Okay? Also, your ancient Egypt. It ain't a blade of grass in ancient Egypt either. Okay? But you the same nation that saw 7 plagues be put on the Egyptians for your name, walk over on fresh green grass in the Red Sea, divided by the will of the Most High, and get to the other side and murmur and complain. And Moses is gone for only 40 days and 40 nights. And when he returns, you are worshiping a golden calf that you made from your jewelry that you took from Egypt. And you're having an orgy, because that's the spirit of the unlearned Israelite. That's his spirit. Even all nations shall say, wherefore hath the Lord done thus unto this land? What meaneth the heat of this great anger? Then men shall say, because they have forsaken the covenant of the Lord God of their fathers. This is the purpose of the black Christian pastor. This is the purpose.
for you to feel comfortable forsaking the covenant of the Most High. And for you to think that a man can stand in front of you sweating and spitting on everything, has some sort of power to where he can get you out of this covenant. Or that he could just make you feel so comfortable as if the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments would be mocked. As if his word will be mocked. Christ is the spirit of the law. Maybe that's why I said, don't even think about being a Christian. So we'll end it there and we'll make sure that you come over. That's just a preview of what will be taught in this class. We're going to disconnect for now. Follow us on Patreon at Nazareth is the Hood Podcast. That's Nazareth is the Hood Podcast for a deeper dive, for a deeper scriptural dive into the spirit of the truth. Shalom.